Y'all ready? Say yeah! Say yeah! Say yeah! We're a winner, and never let anybody say that you can't make it. 'Cause a feeble mind is in your way. No more tears will we cry, and we have finally dried our eyes, and we're moving on up. Moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on.
Good evening, and welcome to another segment of Shaping Young Minds, the television show. This show is nationally televised and designed to educate and inspire millions of inner city youth in hopes to expose you all to great possibilities for the future. I'm your host, Kenyatta Freeman. I'm currently working toward building a better future for myself alongside my children. I find this to be impossible without first uplifting the youth because you are the future. So let me take a moment to inspire and empower you with some positive affirmations. Later in the show, we'll get into Juneteenth. For now, let's share some information on many career opportunities and the educational resources needed in life to make your dreams come true. Here today with us, we have Scoutmaster Robert of the Boy Scouts of America and Brother Johnny, President of Human Services. Scoutmaster Johnny, Scoutmaster Robert, how about you tell us a little bit about how the Boy Scouts can impact the youth and make the young man stronger and build a better future?
Well, what we could do is impact the youth is basically what we do is we do a lot of show them leadership and show them a positive role to lead by. And it's a lot of fields and adventures that they will go through being a Boy Scout, career-wise. So basically what we do, we take a young man and turn him into a man. That's basically what we do.
So would you say if an inner city poverty-stricken young man came to the Boy Scouts, he have a better chance to become successful?
But I tell anybody, give me the worstest kid in Chicago, give me 2 months with that kid, I turn him around.
What are the goals do you think young men out of Chicago need to be able to succeed? What are the goals they need to set for themselves? What are the things they need to do to become better?
Well, the goals is to pretty much understand what they want to do in life. And it's up to the parents. What we do is we show them the way. And what I mean by that is when we show them the way, a lot of things that we do, like for instance, I'll give you an example, camping. We take them camping. A lot of kids don't know what camping is all about. We do hardcore camping. We show them how to sleep in a tent, eat outside, fix their own meals, everything. So that's some of the things that we teach them. So the skills that we teach them is a life experience. And the things that we teach them, it'll go a long way. And hopefully we'll mold their minds into a better future. And that's what we do.
Brother Robert, how about you tell us a little about yourself?
Okay, my name is Johnny White, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I've been a social worker for over 40 years, and I provide therapy, counseling, also workshops, training around mental health in the community. Currently, there are 46 million African Americans. We make up about 16% of the population. And of that 46 million, there's about 2 million that have serious mental health issues. Mental health is a epidemic. Negative mental health is an epidemic in the African American community. And it manifests itself in violence and other things that are going I like to look at it from a policy standpoint and look at the things that are preventing us from getting the counseling and the services that we need to treat. But it's a paramount, it's a serious issue, and particularly in Chicago too. A lot of the violence that's going on is intergenerational. We lack resources, counseling, mental health resources. Of 90% of the people who have drug addictions, they get no treatment. And it's a lack of resources in targeting that. The second leading cause of death for African Americans, 1525 across America, is suicide now. The leading cause of death for African Americans, particularly males, is gun violence. And everybody's saying, well, we remove all the guns and the violence will stop. No, you have to have a culture of values that we have to implement in order to deal with it. You can have guns, but if you have guns and don't shoot anybody, there's no problem.
Would you say that mental health issues are recognized enough in the black community?
No, there's a real stigma in the black community. If you say I'm depressed, I need some counseling, I'm trouble sleeping, the stigma is you're crazy for that. That's the biggest thing. We also don't trust the health care system, both for mental health and physical health. We don't trust the system because our history. I mean, from the Tuskegee Institute to vaccines. And so we don't get the kind of help we need until it's too late. Mm-hmm. We have complete mental breakdowns, depression, anger, which fuels a lot of the violence, the drugs. We're not getting treated for these issues at an early age. 15 to 25 is a critical age. The society, when I was in school, they were saying if we can arrest and incarcerate enough black males between 15 and 25, we can drop the crime rate in the community. Rather than targeting black males from 15 to 25 and saying let's get some treatment and some other resources in there to prevent them from picking up a gun and doing something bad. And I like to deal with solutions, developing the community centers, after school programs, Boy Scouts. Those are prevention programs that need to happen.
Do you think that people are self-diagnosing themselves nowadays?
What they're doing is that they're self-medicating themselves. They're using alcohol, methamphetamine, heroin, drinking. Because they're not getting the serious scientific help that they need, then they turn toward drugs and other things to cope with depression, anger, and those kind of things.
What is the number one mental health issue amongst the black community? PTSD, anxiety, is it?
Right now, I would say PTSD, trauma, and the reactions from that.
And from the people that's not familiar with what that is, can you give them a brief?
Post-traumatic stress disorder, actually that term came out of the Vietnam War, World War II. It used to be called shell shock. So characterized by being hypervigilant, nervous, looking over your shoulder, something that's coming
paranoid.
to get me. Yeah, and it's difficult for children. If somebody's shot in the neighborhood, it's like a ripple effect. It affects everybody in the neighborhood. Kids have trouble school, sleeping, their neighbor, their friend got shot. That trauma is huge in the African American community right now because of the gun violence.
The number one thing I want to say is seek help. If you feel like you have mental health issues, mental health illness, or anything of that nature, seek help. It's okay to need help sometimes. We can't do it alone. We all here together as one body, and we got to work together as one body. Okay, Brother Robert, can you tell us about any upcoming events the Boy Scouts may have for the youth to be able to get out and see something different, to be able to experience some fun in their life?
Oh, we have a lot of events coming up right now. Since everything opened up now, we have a lot of events. One of our next events is in August. We go camping for a whole week, outdoor camping. Sleep in tents. They get to see the outdoor, go swimming, archery. It's a lot of hiking. So it's a lot of things that we do when we're on a camping trip for a week.
What are the age ranges?
I deal with the age ranges from 6 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Boy Scouts. Cub Scouts go from preschool, so we say maybe 4 years old to 10. So from 4 years old to 10, they're Cub Scouts. From 11 years old to 18, they're Boy Scouts.
So my question to you is this like how the movies is? Because I never had a chance to be a Boy Scout. So is this like how the movies is? You got the chaperones, then you got the older kids watching over the younger kids in the cabin, in the woods, and you just get to just live free like for summer camp?
No,
Nothing
we
like
have
band camp?
structure. We have structure. Basically, what the older kids will do is teaches the younger kids. We are like leaders. We chaperones.
Mm-hmm.
We more like we observers. So with the Boy Scout program, we like an observer, and we have like a senior patrol leader. The senior patrol leader job is to teach us the younger scouts on what to do, how to put up a tent, how to cook outdoors. That's the job of the senior patrol leader. As a leader, what I do is I'm observer, make sure everything is being done right. And that's what I do. So once everything is done right, I'm just an observer. We teach us, the scouts, then our teachings that we pass on to the senior patrol leader, he teaches the younger scouts. So we have a structure.
And what's the age for the senior patrol leaders?
They could be as young as 12 years old.
12 years old?
Yes, sir.
As long as he got the badges?
No. The senior, they go in rank. They go from Boy Scouts, Tenderfoot, then we got first class, second class, I should say second class, first class, Life Scouts, Eagle Scouts. Mm-hmm. They go in rank. So they could be a senior patrol leader as 12 years old. Is his maturity and what he's learned, what we have taught him over the years. And we give all the scouts the opportunity to learn and to be in that role as a senior patrol leader. That's a leadership role.
So 6 years old, I'm fresh to the Scouts. This is my first day. I've never been here with you all before. This is my first trip with you all. What do you all do to make the kids feel comfortable, to let them know that this is a home, a brotherhood?
Well, 6 years old, they more of what you call a wolf. They have different ranks in Cub Scouts. They start pre-tigers, tigers, then you got a wolf, you got the bears, and then you have the Weeblos, different age groups. So what they'll do is, I'll go to preschool. They'll learn how to make puppets, little cars out of wood. They'll learn a lot of things, what to do on a fun level, games. That's what they'll do with the younger scouts. The older scouts, what they'll learn how to do is build a bridge out of rope. We'll teach them how to build a monkey bridge out of a rope, where they could travel from one side to the other, or how to pitch a tent. Those are older kids, that's what they'll learn. And knots, we have about 40 different knots that we teach them. A lot of skills that we teach them, they'll go in the military with rank. If they go in the Navy, for instance, I'll give you an example, they go in the Navy. The Navy deal with a lot of knots. A lot of knots we teach them, they'll take that skill to the Navy. And we teach them knots from kindergarten all the way to 18.
So this is something that they'll be able to remember forever. It's something that they'll know naturally. It'll become second nature to them.
Matter of fact, a lot of scouts don't know, and a lot of adults don't know, the kids' first knot is tying your shoe. Mm-hmm. That's their first knot. Mm-hmm. So Once they learn how to tie their shoe, that's the first knot of the Boy Scouts. Then from there, we teach them we got 2 half hitch, we'll teach you other knots that they'll learn. So particularly, I give you one. If they put up a canopy, that's a skill, putting up a canopy. A lot of people don't understand that. If they put up a canopy the right way, a hurricane can come and that canopy won't fall or anything. What we teach them. And they'll learn how to adjust it, stake it in the ground, everything. These are the skills that we teach them.
So, Brother Johnny, in what case would you recommend a mentally ill or a child struggling with mental health issues, in what type of case would you recommend him to be in the Boy Scouts?
You know, Boy Scouts is very therapeutic. It teaches values, it teaches order, it's a culture in itself. And those things, value culture, and those things create better mental health. So programs like the Boy Scouts is very valuable. And one of the things I'm looking at forming is a national non-for-profit to look at African American mental health and to pour resources. Boy Scouts need to be expanded. Should be a community center in every neighborhood, 2 or 3 of them, to capture the kids, to capture the families. There's special services needed for women and children in counseling, but it has to be done on a broad policy level for those to have any kind of effect. So we have programs and things going on in churches, boy. They need to be expanded in the community because then you can compete. You're competing with gangs, you're competing with violence, you compete with it. Pouring police at it, but the competition you create is positive competition because your whole goal, just like the vaccine for COVID, you want to inoculate the black community and inoculate the children, inoculate the families against violence and ignorance and those kind of things. We have, in the black community, we have some of the most brilliant minds that never can get traction to explore, get out.
Hope you all was able to catch up on that and was able to listen and catch up with that. So if you guys are interested in the Boy Scouts, please feel free to contact your local Scoutmaster in your community. Talk to your parents first to make sure you're a chaperone. Welcome back to another rendition of Shaping Young Minds. Today we have our co-host Aiyanna and we have guest Angie, who is the artist of this beautiful painting. Angie, why don't you give us a little bit about the painting?
Yeah, so this is one of my most recent paintings that I did. It's all on canvas, and it's a painting of my sister, part of my new series that I completed for my master's thesis. Mm-hmm.
So I understand before you started painting, there was a lot of obstacles that you had to overcome.
Yeah, so I've always been into art. I've always, drawn and painted. And I got my bachelor's degree in painting, studio art. But when I went on to get a master's at first, everyone, friends and family was saying, there's no careers in art. So it was like you have to do something that's more like computer, oriented. So I first got a master's degree in digital art. And from there, I was just getting like freelance jobs, doing, flyers and, different type of digital stuff. But, it wasn't fun for me at all, and finding an actual job was just like almost impossible. So in 2017, I was asked by my undergrad college to come back and do a solo for them. And I got to talking with my undergrad professor, Michael Dixon, and he really, put it in my mind. He was like, you should be painting. Painting is your thing. So with that, I decided to go back to get my Master's of Fine Arts degree in painting, and that's what I just received the beginning of this month in June, from Northern Illinois University.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
So I understand you said that's an oil painting. Can you tell us a little bit about the process of going about that? How do you put that together?
So me personally, a lot of oil painters and artists in general, they work different ways. A lot of people work from observation. Me personally, I like to work from photos, and the reason being is because when I'm painting, when I do a new painting, I like to have it like a captured moment of that person and not necessarily a pose that they're holding for me. So this painting in particular, I was over at my sister's house, and we were all sitting on the couch, just chalking it up, and she turned and looked at me, and she just had this look in her face, and it's a regular expression, but I just loved that look, so I quickly took a picture of it with my cell phone, and it was that capture moment that I wanted to recreate. So from that, from the photo I took, I drew the painting. And I drew the contour line drawings, and then from there I work up in oil. So I always start off like with, if you can see like coming on the sides of the painting, there's like these orange shades coming in under the blue. I always start off with this like wash of this burnt orange color, and then I just build up from there. And I like to, the more layers I add on, like the more realistic it looks, and to grab that texture in the hair and everything.
So who taught you? Because this is beautiful. Like, what age did you started painting and knew that you wanted to do art?
I used to start when I was probably around like 6 or 7, and what I used to do is take magazines and, take like celebrity photos from the magazines and try to recreate it. So I knew then that I wanted to do art. I really got into painting. It was actually my final year of undergrad, and the professor that I mentioned earlier, he had told me that, he the one who taught me about oil painting, and not just oil painting, but about subject matter, like getting more into social justice type of issues. So from there, I wanted to say, it was on final year of undergrad that I would say, okay, this is what I'm going to do and be a professional painter.
That's awesome. How do you feel about, like, teaching the kids? Would you teach the kids? Like, would you open up a school?
Yeah, because actually with the Master's of Fine Arts degree I just got, it's so I have the credentials to teach now.
That's awesome.
So now I'm actually trying to go into teaching at a university level.
Okay.
So I've been right now, like, because I just graduated, I'm in like that in-between stage of, new job, right? So I'm still looking for a new job, but I am looking for like, professors positions around. And with that though, I also would like within the next 5 years or so, I want to open my own art gallery.
Yeah.
And there, I don't want it to just be, a gallery where you're showing work. I want it to also be more like an interactive space. So I would like to open it up to teaching children and, different youth programs and stuff like that.
So I see that you drew the picture of your sister. What all type of artwork are you into drawing? What drives you to go draw? What is it that's in you that just says, you know what, I'm going to go draw? And the reason I ask you that, because I consider myself to be an artist too. I do music, and I usually find myself in an uncomfortable predicament, and that's when I decide to put my headphones in, I'm going to write a song. So what is it that drives you to do art?
So other than my passion of just really wanting to paint, more recently it's been like a lot of social issues that's been going on. So I used to just like do, portraits of family and portraits of myself and stuff like that until it was a couple of years ago, I think. It was when like Prada or Gucci, one of those like big brands, and they had that like sweaters and different products were showing the Sambo face, and people not familiar with Sambo, was the negative view of stereotype of black people with the black
ears,
skin.
the big lips, black skin.
Yeah. And they kept doing that on their products, and when they got called out on it, people were like, oh, they were like, oh, we didn't mean to, and apologize and all that, but it kept happening. So it was like, I wanted my artwork to be like my voice as well. So when issues like that came up, that's why I was like, I created paintings that talked about that. So from that particular instance that I just described, I did this series of paintings where I did myself and different other people, and I put the Sambo face on me, but I changed the colors. It was really great. But it's kind of like to take control of the situation. So one painting that I have is called "Paint Me Purple, Yellow Belly," and it's me. And the Sambo, I switched the colors that I have, yellow lips, and then the surrounding color is purple. And what I'm representing that, because I'm really into color psychology and the meaning of color and how it connects to human emotions. So like purple, being associated with like royalty, and then like yellow, the idiom being associated with like yellow belly and coward. So I'm saying like if you're gonna continue to paint me, let me show you what colors to use. Use purple, because I'm royalty. So we're just kind of like taking that situation and trying to take control of
That's
it.
your favorite color, purple?
No, I think like maybe blue was my
Blue.
favorite color.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of interested in the color symbolism thing.
Yeah.
I'll be digging into that too. You said purple was a color of royalty. I always want to know, what does the color red represent?
Red, it's like it's a really fiery representation. Like it has two meanings. Actually, all colors do. So one, it could be passion and love and all that, but it also can be like a caution or violence type of thing. So it really is just like a push and pull of what the situation is or what where the red is.
So is there a certain reason why you represent with the orange first? Is that,
No, the orange, actually, no. The orange is just something that I started off doing because the reason I do that wash is when you have a blank white canvas in front of you, at first it can be kind of intimidating because I build my canvases from scratch. I don't like the store-bought ones. And, you put all that work into it, and it's like, okay, I don't want to mess this up, So when you just throw some paint on there, and I don't know, I just kind of gravitated towards that red, that burnt orange color. It kind of like breaks the tension of, okay, now there's paint on the canvas, so go ahead and finish it.
so Aiyanna, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Right now, let me think. I'm really like pro-black. Right now, I'm trying to see if I'm finna like get up into school, but honestly, I kind of want to do my own business, like get properties, like whatever I can do as far as giving back to my people. And like when I have children, I want to leave some generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? So I can have something for them. I don't want to slave the rest of my life. So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm 26. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm going with life right now, kind of,
One thing I want to say, since we shaping young minds, is when you're young, man, don't be pressing yourself. Don't be trying to push yourself to move too fast. You feel me? You got to take your time and really figure out what's best for you, because I'm kind of in the middle of a moment where in my life I don't know if I want to go this way or that way. But at the end of the day, I do know my common goal is, like you said, to build generational wealth. And I want to be able to leave something behind for my children, because in the black community, we got a bad reputation for saying that the white folks or the Caucasians, they leave stuff behind for their children to build generation, and they say that we just push our kids out there in the streets. I don't want to be that father. I want to be known like, yeah, he did that.
And left that for me.
And left that for me.
Yes.
But I also don't want my kids to have anything handed to them. They also still got to work for it. They still got to make something happen. But I'm kind of a learn from experience type of person. I'm not just going to throw them out there and say, go live life.
It's hard too, though.
Yeah.
It's hard, and it's hard being black. I just feel like it's hard. We didn't have no easy slate, so why not try to help our children or help the youth or help people, our people? You know what I'm saying? Get up out this hole. We in a hole.
And I live by saying, man, you get out what you put in. You put in all that good energy, you're going to get it right back, man. You, like you say, you want to help the youth. You help the youth, it's going to in turn help you, because now you ain't doing it on purpose, but now you done help the young man that when you become older in age, this young man getting groceries for you and stuff. You done impacted his life in a whole different type of way, shape, or form. It only takes one person to change the world.
I agree.
All it takes is one person with a lot of followers. And it ain't even about the following, it's just about...
I think Tupac said 50. If 50 people come together,
Yep.
I think he
all you need
did.
is the mass. All you need is the mass, man. But it's always that one person to spark the mind. Because I can spark the mind of you, and you can spark the mind of the next Bill Gates.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a recycle. It's a repeating cycle. It's all recycle. I'll come back to you. It's one